Content warning, as always. Please use discretion when listening to true crime podcasts and media. On the 12th of December 1995, a man was walking along Ballinamona Beach, Kilmuckridge, County Wexford in Ireland, when he spotted something close by the water's edge. A woman's partially skeletonized remains had washed up on shore. Her remains, tangled with seaweed and washed ashore by the tide, were badly decomposed, indicating she had been in the water for a long time. The Wexford coastline, where St George's Channel and the Irish Sea meet, tends to be a hotspot where human remains are washed ashore or recovered by fishermen. The sad truth of the matter was it wasn't unusual. After the Gardaí, or the police, attended the scene, the woman's remains were moved to Waterford County Hospital, where a post-mortem was conducted. The pathologist reported the remains to be those of a woman aged between 25 and 40 years, who was about 176 centimetres or about 5'7", 5'8" in height, and had undergone a lot of dental treatment, even having a brace fitted on her bottom teeth. She was wearing a pair of Lee jeans with a diamond-shaped motif of a woman wearing sunglasses, and size 33 or 31, and a pair of brown lace shoes, EU size 39 with white socks. On the insole of the shoes was a 4-star symbol and the wording, "Made in France." It was established that the jeans were manufactured in Belgium in 1986 or between 1987 under the fashion name Rumour. The jeans were never officially sold in Ireland. She also had 2 Volkswagen keys in her pocket with a football key ring, but no VW vehicle was found abandoned on the coast. Then state pathologist Dr. Harbinson found no evidence of foul play and determined drowning was the suspected cause of death. Although extensive inquiries were made with international police, including Interpol and missing persons organisations, her identity in early 1996 was undetermined. In May 1996, she was buried in Crosstown Cemetery in Wexford, and nylon ropes were placed around the coffin before it was lowered in case she needed to be given to her family. By 2007, a family of missing Irish woman, Priscilla Clark, advocated for the missing woman's remains to be exhumed and a DNA sample taken. Once granted, a pathologist conducted another examination of her remains and they found that the skull was missing. It emerged that the mandible and her lower jawbone were taken away for investigation in 1996 but were never returned. A former detective Keeley said he was struck by the woman's teeth, referring to the previous examination photographs. Quote, "One of the very distinctive things was the braces on her lower teeth. In 1995, it would have been most unusual for someone in their 20s or 30s to have braces. This was someone who was well looked after." In order to compare the remains to missing Irish woman Priscilla Clark, Keeley said he took 2 of the bones to the UK, putting them in a steel case, and took them to Birmingham to see if they could extract DNA from them. Eventually, the DNA extracted confirmed it was not Priscilla Clark. Former Detective Keeley said he then went to the DOE network, which is an international database of missing and unidentified persons. He scoured thousands of profiles and nothing. The Ballinanoma Woman is now almost a postscript at the bottom of the tombstone marking the grave, in which also lie the remains of Bristol native Mark Dean Hearden, who drowned off of Hook Head on March 5, 1995, while sailing on his own from Waterford to Dublin. They are buried in a so-called pauper's grave in Grave 37, Section A at St Ibar's Cemetery, along with another man, Thomas Stratford, who died in 1951. While both men are named on the gravestone, there is just one line referencing the remains of an unidentified female whose remains were washed ashore at Kilmuckridge on the 12th of December 1995. There's a haunting sadness in how some women are remembered, not by who they were, but by where they were found. The Ballinanoma Woman, the Eastdale Woman, and the Lady of the Dunes. Their names are lost to time, their stories reduced to a location or a piece of clothing or a fragment of their remains. It speaks to something deeply unsettling and how easily some lives are erased and how some women are discarded without justice or even acknowledgement of their existence beyond the mystery of their deaths. These women had histories, families, laughter, fears, and dreams. Yet in death they become a case file, a forensic puzzle, and a whisper of a tragedy washed ashore or left in an unmarked grave. They deserve names, stories, and remembrance, not just the cold descriptors of their final resting places.